Welcome to AI in 8 minutes or less, your daily AI update. Today, we're unpacking a really high stakes keynote from entrepreneur Dan Martell. He's making a huge bet on the future of business, and it's all built on a fundamental shift that he says is already here. All right, let's get into it. So, Martell just comes right out of the gate with this incredibly direct statement. This isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's both a warning and an invitation. He's putting his own money and his energy where his mouth is. And he truly believes that for anyone who wants to stay in the game, this isn't even a choice anymore. The conviction here is real. And it really sets the stage for everything else. To really get the scale of this change, Martell wants you to think about the last massive disruption we all lived through, the internet. Remember? Entire industries, like newspapers, were totally turned upside down. But out of all that chaos, brand new roles like web designer just appeared. He's arguing the exact same thing is happening right now with AI. All those repetitive manual tasks are on their way out, but they're being replaced by new, strategic roles focused on directing AI. And that really brings us to the biggest question of all, right? If the ground is literally shifting under our feet, what does it even mean to be a leader anymore? How do you navigate this completely new world, not just to survive, but to actually come out on top? Well, that's exactly what we're about to break down. First things first, we have to grasp the sheer force of this thing. Martell is crystal clear. Too many people are treating AI like it's just another tech trend, like the move to mobile or the cloud. But he warns that this is a huge miscalculation. This isn't just another wave, it's a tsunami. And, well, he doesn't mince words. This is about as blunt as it gets, and it's meant to be a serious wake-up call. In his view, the biggest risk isn't getting your AI strategy wrong, it's pretending you don't even need one. He thinks this denial phase is exactly where companies and careers are gonna go to die. But look, this disruption isn't just about what's being lost. Before spreadsheets existed, there were literally entire buildings full of people whose only job was to manually calculate things like mortgage rates. And yeah, spreadsheets got rid of those jobs, but they also created a whole new class of professionals who knew how to use that powerful new tool. AI is doing the exact same thing, just on a scale that's almost hard to comprehend. It's a classic cycle of old skills becoming obsolete and new ones becoming essential. So here's the bottom line. This has always been the job of a leader. It really doesn't matter if the threat is Netflix coming for Blockbuster, or digital cameras coming for Kodak, or now AI coming for, well, pretty much everyone. Your job has always been to see what's coming and get there first. This isn't some new responsibility. It's the core job, just supercharged by the incredible speed of AI. Okay, so if that's the reality of the situation, how do you actually adapt? This is where we get into the practical playbook. And it all starts with a really big mental shift, moving away from identifying as a doer and into the role of a director. Let's break this down a bit. The doer is the expert, the person who actually does the work. But because of that, they almost always become the bottleneck that stops things from growing. The director, on the other hand, is more like an orchestra conductor. They know the goal, and they guide the AI to perform the individual tasks. They're not crafting everything by hand. They're designing the entire system. This is the key insight that makes that whole shift possible. I mean, think about your own job right now. You have to stop tying your identity to the tasks you do every day. Are you defined by the reports you write, or by the actual outcomes those reports are supposed to create? Because AI is coming for the tasks. It can't replace your purpose. And that's the real opportunity here, letting AI handle the busy work so you can focus on the outcome. And this just brilliantly sums up why this shift is possible for basically everyone. It used to be that if you wanted to build technology, you had to learn these really complex languages like C++. But today, with these large language models, all you need is your own language. If you can clearly explain what you want in English, you can direct an AI. The barrier to entry for creating things has just completely crumbled. So how does this new leadership mindset actually turn into a business strategy? Well, it's not about just tacking on a few AI features to your old product. It's about totally reimagining your business model with AI at the very core from day one. Okay, before we dive into strategy, here's a super quick peek under the hood. When you type a prompt, your words get broken up into pieces called tokens. Each token gets turned into a long string of numbers. Then, the AI does trillions of calculations to predict the most likely next token, which becomes the next word you see. It's not magic, it's just math and probability happening at an unbelievable scale. With that in mind, Marta lays out two different paths. The red ocean is what most companies are doing right now. They're taking their old software and just bolting on a few AI features. It's crowded, it's competitive. The blue ocean is where you start from scratch with an AI-first mindset. You ask, if we had this technology from the very beginning, how would we solve this problem? And that's where the real disruption happens. This right here is the mantra of that blue ocean strategy. Think about it. Instead of building a recruiting software you have to log into and learn, why not just build an AI agent you can call on the phone? It could create the account for you, text you a link, and run the ads all on its own. No interface needed. Now that is flipping the whole concept of software on its head. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. Martel is backing this entire strategy with a goal that is just huge. He's trying to build an AI venture studio that generates 25 times billion dollars in enterprise value. A number of that big really shows you the scale of the opportunity he sees in this AI-first approach. Okay, so we've covered the why and the what. Now we're going to land this with the how. How do you actually build an organization that can thrive in this new world? Well, it all comes down to a simple but really powerful framework. He calls it the builder's pyramid. At the very top, you've got dreams. That's the big vision that gets people excited to join you. Right below that is strategy, which he says is all about sacrifice and deciding what you are not going to do. Then comes talent, hiring people who are smarter than you. But the foundation holding it all up is standards. Martel says the biggest lie in business is people are your greatest asset. He says, no, standards are your greatest asset. Your people are just the proof of your standards. And that brings us to the final and maybe most important takeaway. This is Martel's personal motto. Don't just sit there and get inspired. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis. If something in this talk resonated with you, the only right move is to act. In the age of AI, the winners are going to be the ones who just default to action. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to AI in 8 minutes and never miss what matters.